I'm Mark, a massage therapist here at Reactivate.
I'm Carly, I'm a physiotherapist here at Reactivate.
And I'm Rich, I'm a sports med physician at Reactivate.
So we all know that it can be pretty hard to get 30 minutes of continuous exercise in one bout, but there are things you can do to break it up and add it into your day so that it adds up to that total.
So today what we're going to be doing is showing you a series of different exercises, each with different levels of difficulty based on amount of weight or instability, to combat what we call sitting disease.
Yeah, and sitting disease, as people know, it's kind of the new smoking. We know that sitting for 8 hours a day, and that's cumulative from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, is as bad for you as smoking. So the other things that happen when you're sitting at your desk for a prolonged period of time, the muscles in the front of your hip get really, really tight because they're constantly in a short position. The muscles around the back, your glutes and your hamstrings tend to get stretched out. And so when you stand up to try to go be active or try to move around functionally on your day-to-day basis, they kind of don't know how to function in that position. So like Carly said, we're going to show you some exercises that you can do within the space of your desk. And like Mark said, we're going to try to make it in little bite-sized pieces so that you can do a little bit here, a little bit there, but the cumulative act of it will be beneficial overall. And we're going to progress you from starting off with a little bit of exercise and making it fairly easy, and then you're going to get it harder over time. So enjoy.
Start with your feet shoulder-width apart and your hands on your hips. Slowly raise one of your legs by bending at the hip and the knee until you reach 90 degrees of flexion. Try not to bend at all at the waist. Maintain a stable pelvis and core throughout. To increase the difficulty of this exercise, tie a band into a circle and place it around your feet. Repeat the same motion as before, holding on for balance if you need to. It should feel a lot more difficult with the band. To increase the difficulty even further, when you reach maximal flexion, rotate your hip out to the side, return to the center, and then back down. Try to perform all of your reps on one leg before switching. Start with your feet really wide apart, one foot in front of the other. Do not lean forward, keep your body in a straight line. Place your hands on your hips and drop your torso towards the ground in a straight line. You should feel the effort of exercise on your front leg, as well as a bit of a stretch in your back quad. To increase the difficulty of this exercise, bring your back leg up and through as you stand up, return it to the wide stance position, and repeat. You can further increase the difficulty of this exercise by adding weight. You can use anything that you can find around the office, such as books. As you drive your knee forward, bring the weight right above your head. Complete all of the reps on one side before switching to the next leg. Stand in front of a chair with one foot on the chair and the other in front of you. Hop forward so that your front knee doesn't go past your toe as you squat down. Keep your head and chest up as you drop your hips down towards the ground. To increase difficulty, grab onto a band, holding it in each hand. Maintain tension on the band as you squat down. This will engage your upper body. You can also increase difficulty by holding on to weight. Start by putting one weight in each hand to keep yourself balanced. You can also hold the weight in front of you, bringing it up over your head as you stand up. Tie a band into a circle and place it around your knees. You should maintain tension on the band with the outside of your knees at all times. Push your bum back, put all the weight on your heels as you squat down. Do not go past 90 degrees to start. Increase difficulty by going 90 degrees or lower. Remember to stick your bum out back and rest most of your weight on your heels. To further increase difficulty, grab onto a weight as you go through the squat. Stand on one leg with the other leg slightly bent. Hinge at the hips, trying not to bend at the back as you bring the leg behind you. Bring your arms forward as you complete the motion. To increase difficulty, add in a rotation. As you come forward, bring your arms out to your sides and try to rotate so that your top arm is pointing to the ceiling. Tie a band into a circle and place it around your knees. Start with your feet shoulder width apart and go into a little bit of a squat. Take a step to the side. Try not to lean at the hips. Keep your pelvis and core stable. Alternate sides depending on the room you have in your office. To increase difficulty, change the location of the band. Move it down to your ankles for the next progression. You can increase the difficulty even further by putting the band around your forefeet. Tie a band into a circle and place it around your forefeet. Bend your knees slightly into a small squat and bring your feet shoulder width apart. Try not to bend at the trunk. You'll have a tendency to want to bend to your stance leg. Tap your toe out to the side, maintaining control. To increase difficulty, bring the band up above your knees. Repeat the same motion, this time vary where you place your foot. To the side, diagonally, behind you, and end with a hip flexion motion in front of you. Repeat several times on each leg before you switch legs. To further increase difficulty, bring the band back down to your feet and repeat the same series. Stand in front of a chair with your hands on the chair and your feet stepped out behind you. Bring the front legs of the chair off the ground to start and lean forward, putting them back on the ground as you go through the motion. Try to maintain a straight line from your feet all the way up to your head. Maintain a core contraction throughout. The farther you step back, the harder the exercise will be. You can also increase difficulty by doing it with one arm at a time. Don't let your trunk rotate and try to maintain that straight line throughout the motion. Tie a band into a loop. Close the door onto the knot of the band or tie it to something solid just below chest height. Grip the band with both hands, interlocking your fingers. Go into a slight squat and start with your hands about chest height. Do not let the band pull you in. Press your hands forward, maintaining a core contraction so that your core is always facing forward. To increase difficulty, take a couple more steps to the side. This will increase tension on the band. To further progress the exercise, change where you punch your hands to. You can go diagonally, above your head, or below your waist. You can also make it harder by going into a deeper squat while you do the exercise. Stand in front of your desk in a high plank position, arms just wider than shoulder width apart, no bend in the back, and a solid core. Bend your elbows to lower yourself down towards your desk into a push-up. To increase difficulty, tap your shoulder as you come up. Try not to let your trunk rotate throughout the motion. You can also progress the exercise by tying a band into a loop and placing it around your wrists. Maintain tension on the band with your wrists throughout the motion. You can make it even harder by putting the band around your elbows. Again, maintain tension on the band throughout the exercise. Do not let the band pull your elbows in. Hold a band with both hands with your palms facing up. Bring the band to waist height. Bring your arms out to the side by squeezing your shoulder blades together. Think about the bottom angles of your shoulder blade coming together. Increase difficulty by varying the height at which you bring the band. Stand with your back against the wall. Make sure everything from the waist up, including your head, is touching the wall. Bring your arms against the wall so that your forearms and backs of your hands are touching the wall. Slowly slide your arms up, maintaining contact with the wall. Stand facing a wall. Take a couple of steps back from the wall, lean onto your forearms and hands. Slowly glide your hands up the wall until your elbows are straight. To increase difficulty, place a band around your wrists. Maintain tension on the band at all times. Do not let your elbows or wrists drift out. You should feel this exercise in your upper back. To further progress the exercise, take a step closer to the wall. As you glide up the wall, come into a Y position. When you reach the max Y position, lift your hands off the wall by contracting your shoulder blades together. Sit at the edge of your chair with one foot out straight. Think about pushing your bum back to the back of the chair. Slowly slide down your leg until you feel a strong stretch in your hamstring or the back of your leg. Keep your toe pointed up towards the ceiling to increase the stretch. Try to hinge mostly at the waist and not in the back. Stand with your side facing a wall. Rotate your arm out so that your palm is pressed against the wall. You should feel a pretty strong stretch in this position, but if you don't, bring your ear to your opposite shoulder to increase it. Stand facing your desk. Place the backs of your hands onto the desk and press down so that you feel a stretch in your forearms. Kneel on one knee. Use a pillow or towel for comfort if needed. Place your hands on the top of your pelvic bones. Rotate your pelvis backwards. If your pelvis was a bowl, think about spilling the bowl to the back, or else think about tucking your tail in behind you. You should feel a stretch in your high hip flexor. To increase the stretch, you can place your foot on the chair. Again, think about tilting your pelvis backwards to increase the stretch. Stand in a corner with your elbows and shoulders bent to 90 degrees. Push your forearms against the wall and slowly dip your body in towards the corner until you feel a strong stretch. Grip onto a door frame with both arms. Bring one arm higher than the other. Cross over your leg with the leg that's closest to the door frame. Stick your hip out to the side to feel a stretch in your low back and all the way up your side.